What's up, everyone? Happy to the second day of July. I can't believe over the course of this year, so much has changed, but one thing has remained constant, and this whole live is based on a conversation I had yesterday. And after leaving the conversation, I couldn't help but think to myself, some people, and this is to no one's fault. I mean, you can't blame anyone for what I'm about to tell you, is that we have this different notion of what social media marketing is, right? Like there's just this misconception. So I wanted to set the story straight once and for all on what your social media should be doing for you. And we all know, you can log into this and say, oh, he's going to say make money. Yes and no. There's a whole different component to that, which is why I want to dedicate a whole like 5, 10, 15 minutes to this conversation. Here's the thing. It can really be boiled down to one sentence. But let me tell you what it's not. To see what I did there, a little teaser, knowing that what I'm about to say, it's coming right up. But anyway, um, a lot of people see social media marketing as either a nice to have or a silver bullet. It's social media. I'll be honest, is a great in between. There's so much that has to go into your brand. Your website has to be good. You have to have some premise of your goals. You have to have strategies. Maybe print's doing well. Maybe conferences, virtual or in person, are still a primary source of revenue for your business. But really, at the end of the day, social media should be doing one thing and one thing only: driving conversations. Social media should be the one of the easiest ways to drive conversation for your business. And I don't care if it's you have a DTC brand, a B2B, B2C, you're in the consumer facing world, you sell to, healthcare institutions, you sell to chief technology officers of big organizations. It does not matter to me. And nor should it to you, because regardless, there's a person on the other side of this equation, right? Whether it is the direct consumer, the spouse of the consumer. By the way, that's a fantastic area to go in. If you are trying to reach a very hard to reach audience, let's say billionaires, CEOs, there is a huge space in the spouse of that. So whether male or female, there's a huge opportunity there. That's something I'm actively exploring with some of the businesses that I am involved in. But anyway, long story short, at the end of the day, your social media should a good social media campaign, a good social media strategy enables you to convert some users who follow your content, love what you're talking about, and you're able to educate them on the decisions that they have. This works really well for smaller priced items, such as maybe notebooks, pens, headphones might be up there. There's certain levels that people are comfortable with making direct consumer decisions online. Now, that's fantastic. In the world of products, that's great. I know very few people who have heard of what's the Nikola. There's this new motor company called Nikola. I know very few people who have actually bought a Nikola car without first having to drive it. So Tesla is a prime example. The first cars, you could have sold the vision with a great social media campaign and everything, but people still had to get into it. The Cybertruck, after building some social proof and seeing, everyone's, especially on the West Coast, has probably seen Teslas driving all over the place. But they had to see those first before investing the $100 for a down payment for a Cybertruck, right? Which could be a buying decision made completely online, right? So if we were just to back it up a tad bit from this conversation, you first had to win them, right? And show them that you're worth, being paid for, basically, right? You had to have those conversations before. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of people on YouTube, on the internet, who have written about Tesla Motors, has broken down, what's good, what's bad, the good, the reasons to own one, the reasons not to, and you've done your due diligence, right? If anything that is that high of a price tag, you're going to do your due diligence. Could you have done it completely from social media? I don't think so, until you got a strong user base that's bought into it and you can actually see the thing in action. That takes a while. So for you, how does this relate? Like, should you be spending so much money to drive these conversations? Yeah, the answer is probably not. You probably don't have a Tesla budget. You probably don't have the biggest brains in the world's budget. But what we can do is start posting about what you're doing. Then going into the comments and actually further doing a deep dive with the people who pay attention to you. For instance, you might have, maybe if you've been following me for a while, you know that I spend, 3 or 4 times a week where I have 30 minutes to an hour set apart, where I go through my direct messages and comments, right? I used to do it every single day. That got overwhelming, and in a sense of trying to avoid burnout, one thing that I implemented was sectioning off parts of my week where I would just go and respond to direct messages, comments, and emails, and all those for my personal brand, right? I can't tell you the sheer amount of conversations I've had with users that have become customers. Like the acquisition cost for the users that I've acquired for Boundless, for any of the other brands I'm directly associated with, is often on paper $0, because I'm a huge fan of using organic content creation and organic methods to get customers. However, it's taken a lot of time and energy and resources, whether they're free or paid, to get to a point where people feel comfortable engaging with the conversation. So what you can start doing today is start posting, even if it's rough estimate, or okay, I'll back up. Even if it's basic things, to start getting comments. Once you have those comments, you start building rapport with people, and you can take those conversations to the direct messages. Once you feel comfortable with the person there, you can take that to the phone call. This is happening to me so much because I planted the seeds for 2 years. I'm starting to get a lot more opportunities my way that I could never have imagined, and so many doors opening from the premise of I've had conversations, and I use social media to instill myself into these conversations. Not by force always. Sometimes I definitely have to pry a little bit to get into the doors of having conversations with, especially some of the friends I've been able to make. But it's purely based on using social media as a value-driven tool to start having these conversations with users and people. And I should never say users, but real people at the end of the day. So that's why I wanted to jump in here. Very quick live today. Just kind of talking people through the fact that it doesn't necessarily always mean that it's going to be easy. I mean, you're going to have to spend a lot of time, resources, money to get to that point to have these conversations. But whether you're in the direct to consumer space, you sell at the local pharmacy, it does not matter, or farmer's market, it does not matter, because conversations will lead to loyal followers. They will lead to loyal customers. They will lead to more ideas for content. They will just lead to so much more if you're willing to put in the time, effort, money, and see that it's actually one of the biggest drivers of your social success. Because regardless, people are going to see you interact with your audience, and they will feel more comfortable asking you questions or buying the products from you, because they know that you're always going to be there. And we like to buy from brands that we know and trust and love. So that is all I got for you today. Very quick live. Again, wanted to kind of always bring forth the best and most up-to-date thinking that I have. Next week, we're starting again with guests, so super excited for that. Took about a 2-3 week hiatus from having on guests. Been a little crazy for me, but I'm not going to have that excuse anymore. So have a fantastic day. We'll see you guys later, and just enjoy the rest of your week. If you have tomorrow off, enjoy that, and definitely make sure to recharge. I think so many people just need a quick day or two break, just away from everything. So if that's you, make sure to take it. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.